Welcome to part 5 of Idea to $1,000 ARR Challenge. In this video, we are going to complete the onboarding flow UI UX of Closer Academy. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the session. Beautiful. So we are improving the design system. And for those of you who don't know, we will be rolling out a very comprehensive design system called Ambitious Moon to all of y'all, which is essentially a UI kit that includes all of the screens and components that you could possibly think of so that you can start playing with Lego blocks, as I like to put it, and not have to understand all the little intricacies of UI UX design. We want to give you the building blocks and some fun insight actually that I didn't share yesterday, but PrizePicks, my old company, I met up with my front-end development team that I hired while I was there. And they actually told me they've been working on their own internal design system for about a year now. They're about to roll it out to the company, and which means so anybody in the company, any of their product departments or engineering departments will be able to use the shared design system. So all of them can build apps in different departments that look very similar. So that's the power of design systems. And it's widely used in startups, enterprise, and it's only fair that we use it as indies and startup founders as well so that we can move a lot faster. Okay, so I'm glad we got 17 here. Super excited to see that. Yesterday, we left off on our onboarding experience. So we built a hypothesis that says, hey, if we give somebody a taste of what our app can do, they are more likely to convert to trials, and they will convert to trials at a higher rate. They might pay us more because they're going to see the value that our app is giving them in advance. So here's what we're doing. We created a onboarding flow that asks a couple questions and offers the sales rep, the aspiring sales rep, an opportunity to try the app. So imagine you finish onboarding and it says, awesome, Sandro, let's try a quick exercise. Now Sandro can tap to record his answer. He'll record the answer, and this is the state for when the answer is being recorded. So I'll actually update this here and say onboarding 8, state recording in progress. Right, this is just some context for me. And this is the screen that you would see as you're recording. I'll be talking about selling a pen, selling a pen, selling a pen. Then I'll hit the orange button and that will finish and then send the answer to the API. So the next thing we got to do now is come up with the screens for what happens next. So that's what we're going to do today. So I'm imagining here, and honestly, I'm freestyling this whole thing, right? We're just trying to use our imagination. I'm trying to show you my intuition for how I come up with solutions. So here we have a sales rep. They're going to finish recording. After this, we're going to send that recording to the API and we're going to process the recording. I like showcasing loading wheels because it builds excitement. You want to use loading wheels strategically. You don't want to just throw them across your whole app. But here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking we have a screen. I'll clone this screen over here. I'm thinking we have a screen that has just a little bit of text that says, processing your answer. We can say something like, giving you feedback on your answer. And what we can do here is get rid of this. We'll get rid of this extra stuff. And we'll align everything kind of center. Move this forward. I do want to have an icon. The only icon I'll use right now is this one. And I'll just kind of paste it in there. You can say, please wait while we review your call script. And the language that I'm using in this app is very much language that sales reps are already used to seeing. So by me saying call script, sales reps know about scripts, right? So we'll say something like processing your answer, please wait while we review your call script. Then in the next screen, I kind of like this output. This is more of that personalized plan output. I've studied a lot of onboardings from major apps like Calm, Headspace, Duolingo, addiction apps and others. And I've understood how they kind of convert people. One resource I do want to share with everybody, I hope you could still see my screen. Actually, let me do new share. One resource I want to share with everyone is called growth.design. This is a really awesome case studies website where you can look at how onboarding flows are done in major apps. So create a free account, and then you can actually study how onboarding flows of various apps function from a psychology standpoint. You can go right here to the left-hand side, hit onboarding, and you can see major apps and case studies behind their onboarding. So the psychology of Temu's casino shopping UX, for those of you who have tried Temu, Brave onboarding, Loom onboarding. And so I highly recommend you guys study onboarding. One that's really relevant to us right now is Blinkist. Blinkist is a bite-sized learning app. And this case study does a really cool job of give you an interactive summary of how Blinkist works and the psychology behind it. So we're actually incorporating a lot of this stuff that's already engraved in my head. I'm not making this stuff up. I'm just a combination of what I've learned. And so we're going to be applying those same principles. So here, I already like this personalized plan kind of card. So we're going to try to mimic it as much as possible. Let me get rid of this stuff right here for now. And then let's get cracking, right? So here's what I'll do from a high level standpoint. I'll go back to the rest of the design system. What you see here is my design system, right? This is what I am basing everything off of. And as you can see, there are loading screens and stuff here as well. These are more low fidelity. We are going to be making them high fidelity. And that's exactly the plan for Ambitious Labs and why we're doing all this. So I will go back to a screen that gives me a personalized plan. And so I'm just kind of scanning the screens at a high level. And these are the low fidelity ones. These aren't the ones I want. I want the high fidelity ones here. Yeah. So, oops, I'm actually not even in the right file. I was supposed to go to Ambitious Moon. This is my high fidelity design system that has all of the screens that I was telling you about. So I'm going to go find one that is for a summary. So we'll go to dashboard and we'll find something that's a summary like this one. We got a summary right here. And our goal right now is really just to find screens that look as close to our vision as possible. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel here. We want to work smarter, not harder. And that's the whole purpose of design systems, is to work smarter and not harder. Okay. So kind of like that one. I kind of like this one too. If anybody has ideas for how we want to display this, definitely leave it in the chat. I want to hear ideas from you guys as far as what can we show our people, what can we show our users, right? After they've submitted that first exercise. And for those of y'all who didn't quite catch the exercise, it's, hey, Sandro, let's try a quick exercise. I want to assess your current sales skills by completing your first exercise below. And we're conditioning the user to get used to doing challenges. This challenge is going to be called you are selling a pen challenge. We're trying to give the prospect a chance to sell us this pen. So we have here prospect pain points, struggling to finish their book, been writing with the graphite pencil for 3 years, now needs a solution for finishing the book. So my job as a user of the app is going to be to sell the pen. Hey, the reason you need this pen is because it's going to help you sell your book or something like that, right? So now when the user kind of gives that feedback, I want to show them a summarized screen of what they learned. I don't have a clear idea of what we can summarize here, but I do have an idea for how we can come up with an idea. Perhaps what we can do is ask our friend ChatGPT for some inspiration. Nothing wrong with doing this as long as you're doing it in a way that's strategic and not just copy paste. We want to just use ChatGPT as an extension of our brains, an extension of our thought process but we never want to use it as a replacement of our brains or a replacement of our thought process. There's a difference. The latter is plagiarism. We're not plagiarizing. We're looking for inspiration here. So this was the same ChatGPT prompt that I've been using to, even arrive at my project requirement document, my PRD, which you learned more about in the previous lessons here. But essentially what I want to do is explain to ChatGPT what's going on and get their advice. So I'm designing a high converting mobile app onboarding flow for this product. My flow is as follows. 1, ask the sales rep for their goals. Ask the sales rep for their pain points and what they want to improve on. Number 3 is give the rep a chance to record their first challenge submission as a way to experience the product. The first challenge is to sell me this pen. A rep will record their answer and submit it for review. We show a loading wheel while the voice recording is processing. After done processing, we want to show a summary screen that critiques the answer provided by the sales rep. Brainstorm information, brainstorm data points that we can display on the summary page that shows the sales rep the value of our app. No, not the value of our app. That outputs valuable feedback to the rep, because we don't want to like just sell our features. I told you this yesterday. We want to sell our benefits. So brainstorm data points that we can display on the summary page that outputs valuable feedback to the rep. We will be displaying 3, do not limit your imagination. Actually, I'm just going to hit this and let's see how it goes. Okay. So summary screen data points for the valuable feedback, a summary score based on various evaluation metrics. Okay, 85 out of 100. That's pretty cool. I would do that. Key strengths, highlight specific aspects where the rep performed well. Okay, cool. Areas for improvement. Okay, cool. Persuasiveness, clarity, engagement level, product knowledge, handling objections, call to action, empathy, use of benefits, professionalism. Wow, 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 wow. The list goes on. Okay, let's kind of use this as our inspiration, right? Like we're not going to like just go with all of them, but we can use it as an extension. And real quick, if you're impressed by this, definitely leave a comment in the chat. Have you been using ChatGPT at all as an extension of your workflow, as an extension of your thought process? I'm really curious to know if that's something that you've been doing. If you have, tell me about how you've been doing it in the chat. I think there's definitely some strategy and some intention for how you should be using ChatGPT. So if you think that I'm being gimmicky here, definitely call me out. If you think that I'm doing it the right way, I'd be excited to hear from you. So definitely leave me a comment and I'll stop in a moment here to check it out. But cool. So based on what we learned, the overall score, I think we have the right idea, right? Like what we can do is here we can say something like, all review summary. And right here we can say 87 out of 100. I think this is a little too much. We don't need so many rings, but I do think if we had like one good ring and we could even like increase the width somehow. Yeah, let's try to do 300. No, I don't think that's how that would work. Let's keep it that way for now. We can say 87 out of 100. We'll remove the auto layout for a second. Okay. And then we can kind of put another 87 out of 100 in here. Maybe something like this. I'm also thinking we can head back to Ambitious Moon foundations. I'm looking for alerts. I'll go to alerts. I kind of like the alerts here, components, and we'll grab one of these alerts from the design system. Cool. And I see a bunch of comments stacking up, so give me a moment and I'll stop, but I'm going to paste one of these alerts here, and that's good. And I'm going to shrink it down a little bit. Trying to just think through like how to display something here. We can always kind of come back and iterate, but here we'll say score 87 out of 100. If you have ideas for what I can do on this page, totally be open to it. Just trying to think through. We have a score and then we have key strengths. So I don't really like this layout. I'm trying to think here. Maybe what we can do is we can use these tabs some way, right? We can say strengths, weaknesses, and lessons. What I want to do here is some sort of play on like how many people are in the app. So say I did something like, go back to Moon. We can say like type. We can go to extra small. We'll just grab this. We'll go here. Change the color to this, and we'll say based on performance, or we can say like based on data from, let's say like, I don't know, 278 plus other reps on Closure Academy. The point is to like introduce some level of, say, interactivity or like FOMO. Like I want this person, when they see this page, to see that there are other people on Closure Academy who have seen results. And we can, of course, put the right number here. Like initially when we launch, we'll probably have, 30 plus people on the app because we're going to like beta test it, and you guys are all hopefully going to download it with me. But my point is like we want to encourage the person to be like, there are other people using this app, so maybe I should use it too. And these are just kind of psychological strategies that we can employ to try to get that conversion rate higher. I'm going to take a moment here and look at the chat. I will read off a couple from the top. Someone says absolutely as far as using ChatGPT. Dre says yes for other projects. Ron says yes. Codex says ChatGPT and Perplexity. That's good. Matthias, you say concepts for layouts of information when you're stuck on wireframes. Yeah, like I'd be curious to know what you're prompting, because that's kind of what I'm doing right now, right? I'm kind of stuck on these wireframes, trying to think through what my next plan of action is going to be. Phil used eBay's AI. I love that you're still using eBay. I'm a big eBay guy. I actually prefer eBay over Amazon. That's a whole different story, but I love eBay. Someone said I use chat to extend my thought for sure. I think it's the prompt to be as detailed as possible. And then somebody said you're not seeing the second screen, so I'll make sure that my screen is working. And then Heinz, you're saying use ChatGPT for listings. Okay, cool. And then Kato, my man Kato, I heard you're doing really well in Dreams and Apps, by the way. I think an AI assisted and human coach progress tracking would have the following elements: goal, what needs to be achieved; challenge, what needs to be done; relevant milestone, how these small milestones reach to the goal. Yeah, for sure. Time frame, AI would give prompts that progress of the challenges, the relevant milestones. Yeah, I think like a personalized learning plan is totally the right move here, for sure. People pay for, structure, people pay for outcome and output. So I think that makes a ton of sense. Let's keep working through that. So that means we need to come up with some sort of strategy for like a path here. Okay. So how can we do this? Let's think through it. We don't have to even use this strengths, lessons, and weaknesses. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to find an onboarding flow of an existing app, and we can try to hunt it down, right? So let's download like Duolingo real quick, see what their onboarding flow is like. We can try to download Calm or Headspace. Okay, we can kind of see how that works. But yeah, I'm curious to know how we could use ChatGPT to like prompt some layouts. Let's try that. Help me lay out the UI of the screen. The elements that I want to include are overall score, rank, let's say overall score based on 200 plus other reps on Closure Academy. We'll say something like strengths, areas of improvement, and then like lesson slash timeline to reach the goal. Yeah, we should also include the goal because they gave us the goal during the onboarding process, right? So we'll have strengths timeline to reach the goal. Keep the, yeah, output your response using a design system that includes headings, cards, lists, and other high-level design elements. Let's see what it has to say. Okay, it says UI layout. Heading, use a bold, large font, medium, semi-bold font, cards, use cards. Okay, layout, primary heading, feedback, section 1, overall score. Okay, cool. Kind of already have this. Section 2, strengths, card is strengths. List, strong opening statement, clear articulation of key points, goal. Okay. Section 5, lessons, timeline to reach the goal. I think this is good. Okay, so how could I go from here? I have a clear example. The next step, I think, is to start working through this. So we have layout. We already have the score. Now we need to go to the strengths. So we need a card for strengths. Let's go do that. So the way I had it set up was like in this type of tab format. I personally think this is still an interesting play. And honestly, I kind of want to do it so I can show you guys how to do tab views later. If you're Matthias says if you're on Pro, you can tell it to give you an image. I definitely am on Pro. Can you output me an image? Huh, that's crazy, Matthias. Absolutely crazy. I didn't even know that. I'm almost scared. Oh, it says I can guide you on how to visualize the layout. Am I on the right Pro account? Yeah, I am. Let's see if you can give me the image here. I see a message coming in. Generate a wireframe image based on that information. Okay. If it defaults back to text, I'm going to try your prompt. Matthias says, generate. Oh, damn. That's crazy. That looks so ugly though. Very cool. Okay. But it has the right idea. Like it has the right direction. Wow. Okay. I do see what I do kind of like that layout though. It's like Closure Academy feedback summary based on 200 plus other people. Wow. Okay. That's absolutely incredible. I'm not sure how other people feel about that. Um, Generate a wireframe based on that information. Hmm. Yeah, let's just try that. But I definitely learned something. We're going to be using that general direction. I like the list view and how it's kind of broken it down. Tell it to make it more sleek or simplified. Okay. Let's see how things go here. Huh, interesting. Generate a wireframe based on information. Make the wire or output a sleek wireframe or output a simple wireframe based on shapes and text. Do not try to get too creative. Think of it as a low fidelity wireframe. Wow, that's actually pretty slick. I think I can totally get inspired off this. Might have just cracked the code for a feature that we can build in the new lab dash. That's pretty cool too. All right, so Closure Academy feedback summary. Let's totally try to use some of this, right? Here's what we can do. Get rid of this. Oops. We'll move this to the middle. Cool. Okay. I'm not gonna like say feedback summary. We'll just say something like overall score. That's fine. 85 out of 100. I think we already got that. And then what we'll do is we'll create um a list like this, and I think that should be good. We'll create a list like this, and then we'll have like a quick summary of what they can do, and we'll move forward. So we'll do something like feedback, and then we'll say action plan. I kind of like that. Okay, and then the feedback will be something like this. We'll do strong opening statement. You opened the conversation well. And then we can replace this with an icon. And I'll show you a different trick here. That's actually, no, let me just go back there. We'll go icons and we're going to find a thumbs up. Okay, so we'll use this thumbs up as a way to right, I think that looks good. I'm gonna get rid of this stuff. And our goal is to make this quite simple. We can always improve it later, but I'm really just trying to move swiftly. And then this one we can actually go down with it. And we'll change this to a red. We'll change these to a green to make it look Nice. Custom. Green. Custom. Green. So strong opening statement. Strong. Say decent tonality. We can say poor. You spoke too fast. And we can say you didn't pause enough, right? So we can say strong opening statement. You opened the conversation well, decent tonality. You have a nice tone of voice. You spoke too fast. You like to ramble, don't you? So we can be kind of humorous there. You didn't pause enough. Running on can overwhelm the prospect. We can say something like, you might have overwhelmed your prospect. And this, I think, is an interesting play to like tell the person like, hey, am I doing this to everybody? Like, that's weird. How does it know that I might be overwhelming someone? And just kind of like let the AI assume something about the person so that the person's psychology will be like, I think it might be right. I might want to trust what it's saying. It might be onto something. Okay. So here's a really basic kind of summary page. We'll say summary 1, feedback, and then we'll do another one with the action plan being what's highlighted. So we'll say feedback and then action plan. Okay. And then what I'll do here is instead of having thumbs up, I want to have numbers. So I'll show you something cool about Figma. I'm not sure if you know about this, but Figma has something called plugins. And so if you go to plugins, you can actually click manage plugins and then find like plugins, like essentially add-ons to Figma that make Figma a little bit more powerful. One that I like to use is called Icon Date. I believe I have a subscription, but it allows me to bring in icons and illustrations really quickly. So one thing that I want to do here is like just have some numbers. So I'll have like the number 1. I will use green. Say green. And then I'll drag the number 1 here. Oops. Yep. And then I'll kind of sit it. Yeah. Okay. And I'll drop it down in size. Maybe that is a little too green, huh? Let's go with white. Yeah, it looks a lot better. Yep. Cool. So cool. We'll go 1, say 2. Fifty-four. 54. 3. And then we'll go 4. Thanks for bearing with me here. Cool to see that we got 21. I think we were up to 25 at first, so that's cool to see most of you guys stick around. If there's something that you want to see me do particularly, let me know. But I think we're making good progress. Like in just a couple hours, we're definitely moving along. Okay, cool. Awesome. So, whoa, that doesn't look right. So this is 52 by 52. This is 52 by now 52. And then we'll click all of these and kind of align them to the right. Something looks off to me. Okay, this is 54 by 54. So we want to make sure that these sizes are correct. 52. And this is why, guys, that like we do the designs for you at Ambitious Labs, because there's just so much like intricate work that you have to do to make them look perfect. So we could obviously like just try to teach everybody Figma, but there's just so meticulous that you have to just be really all about Figma for this to be for you. Okay, so then action plan is we'll say something like this, like complete the following lessons in Closer Academy. Or we can say we recommend the following lessons inside of Closer Academy. We recommend you study or you complete the following lessons inside of Closer Academy. Something to like just really drive the point home that they need to use our app. And I'm going to use the purple that they've set out for us. And I'll even italicize it. I think that looks pretty good. Okay. You might want to come back and kind of tidy it up. I'm going to do a little bit of UI research and we'll come back and improve it. But I think for now, that's all right. The next step is to bring a button in, because how are they going to get to the next page, right? So we want a nice big button, and we want this button to be just like your ordinary button. We don't really want to make it seem like it's such a big task to click that, tap to record button. So I'm gonna kind of bring it down there. And we'll kind of flatten it out. Oops. And we'll bring it in here. All right. Cool. So our UI is definitely coming along. I'm pretty excited about it. I do think the design system is definitely helping us here. But yeah, overall, I think we're good. Like we have now an experience for somebody to complete that first challenge and then get their feedback. The next step from here is to show them a paywall. And this is where the magic really happens. And this is why I'm so confident that I'll be able to generate $1,000 with this app, even though it's so simple, right? Like some of y'all who are a little bit ahead might be thinking, holy moly, this is literally just like a one call to ChatGPT and it's like a very simple app. And how are you going to generate money with this? Well, first of all, it works. Second of all, we've created a lot of perceived value and we've created a process that shows that the app works. And I think we will get trials, but we probably won't get trial conversions just off of this app. We're going to have to put in a lot more work to really get conversions. Okay. Phil says maybe use a trophy and wrench icon instead of the thumbs. Thumbs down might be demotivating. Yeah, I think that's totally cool. And we could use like the wrench and other things. I'm gonna show you some opportunities for us to use like emojis and stuff. Okay. But for the time being, what I want to do now is the paywall, because that's actually what I did have next to it. And I have a paywall here too in the design system. We just want to offer one membership. I want this to be a premium membership. You're going to pay one time, you're going to get access for 1 year. So let's see how we can do that. Are we doing the time? 6:42? Okay. Give me a moment. All right. So the next step is the paywall, right? So let's go to back to Ambitious Moon and get that paywall. I believe we have a paywall here, payment and subscription, and we sure do. I want ours to be simple. Like, we don't want to overcomplicate it. This one looks okay. This one looks okay. I'm looking for something a little bit more similar to like what I did with Virally. Let me kind of show you what I did there. Okay, so I'm pulling up the Virally UI UX and I have, oh, these are the wrong ones. So here was the Virally. No, it's not the one I'm interested in. This was kind of my Virally paywall where I had this like loading, a testimonial. That's not one I really like. Let's just go with something a little bit simpler. All right, let's go back to Moon and I'll just settle for this one. I'll settle for this one for now, and then we'll find a few more. Cool. We'll head back here and we'll paste the subscription. Cool. We'll get rid of this. And the next thing is we're going to say piece of text at the top. And we'll change this text to text style. We'll say bold 32. We'll say become a something like really bold. Let's ask ChatGPT. Brainstorm headlines for the paywall page of this app. Make a bold statement that is aspirational and outcome driven, less than 8 words. Transform your sales skills today, master sales, achieve more, boost your closing rate now, unlock your sales potential, become a top sales performer, conquer sales challenges daily. I like become a top sales performer. I like that because it's like aspirational. It means you want to get to the top, and that's why you're gonna be purchasing this app. So we're gonna say Closer Academy Pro, and we'll do say $59 per year. Okay, we're gonna update the price a little bit later in the what do you say in the series as well. But for now, we're just gonna lock in here. It's a good anchor price point. So we'll say $59 a year. We'll say daily sales challenges, access, or we say daily sales challenges, unlimited sales lessons, access to Discord community, and something like job placement opportunities. I'm not sure if we're actually going to offer this, but we're just going to kind of spitball it for now. My point is just to show you how I create a value stack, right? Because you guys are all going to have value stacks for your app as well. And this is Very common way of doing it. And this is why I really like freemium premium apps. And I hope I inspired some of y'all to build freemium premium apps, because I believe that these are the easiest to monetize, build, and just honestly have a clear path to revenue. Because like, whoa, these types of apps are just like easy to see the value of, and it's just much easier to build. When you have to build marketplaces, there's so many like intricacies of marketplace businesses that make them really, really hard businesses to start. Premium is a lot easier because you're essentially building a SaaS that's a mobile app. I think this can definitely look a lot better. I'm gonna get rid of this carousel. I want to align all this. Boom, now we're talking. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Gorgeous. We're not going to overcomplicate this. We're going to get rid of this. We'll get rid of this. But I do want to incorporate some of the same stuff that I incorporated in Virally. So let's go to the App Store. Let's open up the Virally app. Not saying that this app is like the best in the world, but I do think it has some good fundamentals. And once we wrap up this paywall, we'll probably call it a night. I'm really excited about where things are going here. I want to wrap up this paywall, really lock it in, and then tomorrow we can focus on that homepage and what a user is really going to see every time they come back. Really hoping that by the end of tomorrow we have our home experience done in an hour. And yeah, at that point we should have the entire end to end. We can start mapping out the back end and building some of the business logic, and yeah, we should be able to make some really good progress. As we wait, any questions, please post in the chat. Looks like we are retaining a lot of people. Must mean you guys like this series. If you have any feedback on the series, if you guys are enjoying this, please let me know. Like I said, you guys are my sounding board. The more excited you guys are, the more excited I'm going to be to come back and do these every day. So leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Cool. So the Virally app, I'm asking them for their platforms, their goals, what their content is about. I make content about building apps. Hit next. Trains the AI. Okay, cool. And then this is my paywall. Virally Pro, unlimited content, blah, blah, blah. Get more leads, make more money. It starts with going viral. Join 11,200 content creators. So I'm going to probably go after something like this. Like I know this works because Virally is making money every day. Like I can even show you guys. Let me pull up my latest Virally stats. Like right here, looks like yesterday, June 18th, we had a purchase, a couple cancellations, a purchase, two purchases on Saturday, a quick $40, no purchases for a while, a random $21, a random 17, no purchases for a week, but I don't really put much effort into it. I actually don't put effort into it at all. And it seems to be making, lunch money every week or so. But the cool thing is it's like $21 ARR. So this $21 will hit next year too, if I get them to stick around. So it does look like it's working. It does make probably a few $100 a month. Like I said, it clears my car payment, and that's all I really care about. I did try to sell it. The sale was in progress and I kind of backed out because I didn't really like who the person was. But it does make money. And so the only reason I'm showing you that is not to flex, it's to kind of inspire you and let you know that you don't need to be very complicated. I get a lot of feedback from Sandra and the rest of the team inside of Dreams into Apps, and they're saying our builders are overcomplicating things. You really don't have to, because the people who want to pay you money are going to pay you money because you're solving their problem, not because your app looks super pretty. So really just trying to make a point that you don't need to overcomplicate things. Your app just has to work in order for it to be successful. So I hope you guys can all take that away from today. And then I'm going to just keep going and complete this. So one thing I always try to do is have testimonials. So I do like this graphic right here, and I have this graphic available in another brand kit, or excuse me, in another Figma file. So I'm going to keep kind of working through this. Firstly, I'm going to add a button here. And I'm going to say something like, Continue. I will increase the button size of this because it is like super important that they click this button. I do think we're probably not centered, which is concerning. Okay. So we'll say become a top sales performer, Closer Academy Pro. I'm gonna brighten this up a little bit. I kind of like how the continue button was inside of the big square like that. I think that looks pretty good. I really just want it to be extremely functional. Like I just want them to know that like, yo, it's $59 a year. This is what you're getting. Continue button. And we'll always try to use the same kind of design. So I'm gonna add these pictures of people. I'll go back and find those people pictures in my ambitious moon, right? Right here. I'm gonna Closer Academy wireframes. I'm gonna create this type of I'm gonna create a frame here. I'm gonna put those pictures inside the frame. There you go. Probably do one more. I'm gonna click all these and hit group. I'll drop the size of it. I do like the stars, and it does look like Figma has stars here, so I'm gonna add these stars. Group these stars together as well. Say join 230 plus high performing sales pros. Of course, this is too big, so we'll drop this down to 12. Change the color to white. And boom, I think we are doing good. And then we definitely need the terms of service, the privacy policy. Terms. Frame selection, paste. Auto layout. And then we'll make these a lot smaller. We'll go to 10 here. 10 here. And again, this is why we do the designs for you, because this is very tedious work. But we just need to have a terms and privacy policy to satisfy Apple requirements. But I'm happy with this, and I'm going to use this as my paywall because I know this works with Virally. It's very sweet, it's very simple, and it makes the continue button like just pop very loud in your face. So we'll call this the paywall. And we're only going to do one annual subscription. We're not going to do a monthly. I hate monthlies because you don't get enough money up front to make it worthwhile. The person's likely going to churn. I like to see people put skin in the game, and I like to have it. My rule of thumb is that if I ever build a piece of software, it's got to pay enough to pay at least one of my bills, or at least one of the business's bills. But like really depending on your business model, if you have if you're a YouTuber or if you are a content creator and you have the opportunity to drive thousands of dollars of revenue or of users, then I think it makes sense to offer like the lower price point and the bigger price point. But for someone like me who's more indie, who's not spending a lot on advertising these apps, who's mostly doing this for educational purposes, I think it's more important to do an annual subscription where you get more money up front. And I recommend that for all y'all too. You guys all work way too hard to be selling yourselves short. Awesome. So let me just go through the comments and see what people are saying. Someone said good stuff. Thank you. I'm glad. If there's anything else, please let me know. Codex, this is great to see you build it up and also to hear your thought process as you go along. I'm glad you find my voice entertaining or not good, because sometimes I get tired of hearing it myself, but great. I'm really, really glad to hear that. That's the whole thing. I'm actually trying to speak a lot more while I do this because I really just want you to hear my intuition and how I think about stuff. So that's exactly the goal here. Lunch money is good. Who likes paying for lunch? I appreciate that. Would it too sappy to have an inspirational quote, Zig Ziglar, when the app opens to get them in the mood? No, absolutely not. I think that's actually really dope. And that's what Nick did. Nick recently launched Compete NG. Is he in here? Nick is not in here. But Nick launched Compete NG and he has motivational quotes in there. I don't think it's sappy at all if you're using it the right way. I think he has one from another motivational speaker, but if you look up Compete NG, which is one of our builders apps, I don't think it's actually compilable for Mac M1 or M2. But if you look up Compete NG on the App Store in the US, you're going to see his app, and he actually used a motivational quote as well. Actually, let me pull that up real quick.